delicate, but potent.
With Peca, we're going to talk about how to start using our sixth sense. We use this expression very often, but what do we really mean? Our sixth sense is that intuition, that feeling we get sometimes, that tells us if something will go right or wrong, if we can trust someone or not. It's something that doesn't come from our logical thinking, but somewhere deeper. Something that appears to be always there, but we never listen to. Because we have been taught to ignore it, to listen only to the logical side of the brain. Our education system is totally based on rational thinking, so it promotes and rewards the proper use of logic, while ignoring or even suppressing intuition or any kind of instinct-based feelings. We will go deeper into this concept when we analyze the portrait of horrible adorables. There is a time to learn and a time to unlearn. At some point in our life, we realize some of the things we have been taught are wrong, and we must change them. Suppressing our intuition and our sixth sense is one of those things. We live in a world that only considers the rational and physical side of reality, as if the rest didn't exist. But now, science is telling us that what we can actually perceive is a very small percentage of reality. Deep inside, we have always known that there is more to life than this. That's why this mystical journey feels like reconnecting with a part of us that has been sleeping. It has this familiar feeling, like going back to an ancient place where you know you have been before, but you had totally forgotten about its existence. That is why you can see some of Peca's childhood toys in the picture, because this journey has a lot to do with going back to your inner child, with recovering the capacity of seeing magic in the world. We have forgotten how magic this world is by giving a rational explanation to everything. The first time someone explains to us what a bird is, what a flower is, we don't see a flower or a bird anymore. We just see the mental representation of it. They tell us a bird is a flying animal, a flower is the reproductive organ of a plant, and little by little, magic disappears. We have to recover the capacity of being fascinated by this world. When we start using our intuition again, we know it has been always there. We have forgotten who we truly are. This physical world has fooled us into thinking we are just a person, but we are so much more than that. We are the consciousness experiencing reality and emotion through that person. One way of reconnecting with this forgotten inner wisdom is to start looking for signs. This portrait of Peca represents the intuitive capacity we all have of seeing those signs, seeing the unseen. Peca is an Argentinian pop surreal artist based in Barcelona. She's vegetarian and has a terrace with a little garden where she plants peppers, strawberries, and other fruits and vegetables. Her cosmic style and her magical world, full of spiritual animals, shooting stars, and light beings, take us on a journey to a world of dreams, more real than the real world, where the borders between our illusory reality and the oniric world of fantasy become blurred out. A space between dimensions where we receive visits of beings from far, far away, who can bring messages of wisdom and love. They can come through dreams, or even signs when we're awake. We just have to realize the message is there, waiting for us to see it. What happens in our life are not just random events. Everything is connected. There is synchronicity. If we think that everything that happens are just random separated events, life just happens to us, like a succession of uncontrollable accidents. When we discover the existence of synchronicity, we start taking control of our lives. We start creating our own future. When we are thinking about something, or we are about to do something, and we suddenly hear or read some words somewhere, it happens for a reason. It can be anything that calls our attention. A writing on a wall saying "Today will be a beautiful day." A slogan on a bus stop ad that says "Just go for it," that we read while considering if we should do something. A piece of a conversation or a sentence we hear on the street or on TV. Anything. Something that we see and has a special meaning for us. But where do these messages come from? Is it some kind of supernatural entity? Well, the most amazing thing is that these messages actually come from ourselves. The external world contains so much information that our brain filters what we perceive. We don't have the capacity to consciously process 100% of what we see. Reality gives you a puzzle that your brain solves. But when analyzing this puzzle, the way in which your mind selects and organizes data becomes the last piece. Your brain plays an active role. The world gives you information, but you also create a percentage of the information in your mind. It's an interaction with the universe. That's why some of the things you see only make sense to you, because you interpret them in a specific way, and some other people would not interpret them that way. We receive the message, but at the same time, we also create it. It's a way of communicating with ourselves, with a part of ourselves we normally don't listen to. Signs are always there. We just have to start paying attention to see them. When we read that bus stop ad saying "just go for it" while thinking about something, we are ignoring all the people waiting for the bus, and the kid crossing the street on a bike, and the trees in the park behind the bus stop, and just about anything except for that text. Our brain decided to focus our attention on that message for some reason. That message, which is exactly what we need to read at that moment. Those words which are showing us the way to go. Have you ever thought why, when you're reading a book or watching a movie, there's a specific line that totally captures your full attention? Those words resonate inside you and are engraved in your mind. Then you talk about that book or movie with a friend, and they don't even remember that phrase. Why are our memories so different if we read the same book or saw the same movie? Because the external world is not separated from our mind. Our brain decides which part to focus on at any given time. The inner world and the outer world are actually intertwined. We just have the illusion they are separated. All is full of messages for you. You just have to start paying attention. Your brain filters reality in a very intelligent way to show you what you need. It's like seeing the moon in broad daylight. Do you know how often the moon is visible during the day? Almost every day. But how often do we see it? Maybe once a month? Why? Just because we're not looking for it. We are not expecting to see it. That's why we don't. What about shooting stars? How often can they be seen? There's a shooting star every 10 to 15 minutes. When you start paying attention to synchronicities, you will realize they have always been there. You will start remembering situations from your past and thinking things like, how could I not see that? It seems so obvious now. You will see that the universe has been trying to communicate with you for a long time. You just have to open your eyes and you will start seeing all these things and even more. Because when you pay attention using your 6 senses, you will start perceiving things that didn't appear to be there at first sight. And your life will start changing. You will start seeing the world with different eyes. According to the second universal law, the law of correspondence, if you want to change the world, you must start by changing yourself. By changing your vision of the world changes. Never forget the importance of the observer. You will start seeing things you didn't see before in stories, movies, books, everywhere. You will start noticing those subtle messages you didn't notice before. And you will realize many people actually know the secret of life, the secret of magic. Only those who believe in it can see it.